Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. We have two dockets. We have a motion to revoke probation docket, and we have the announcement docket. When I call your name, please come forward with your attorney. If your attorney is not here, your attorney is probably in another court handling another matter, and we will wait for your attorney to arrive. Wait, please. Okay. The first case is Linda Wyckoff.
Yes, sir, she's here.
This is cause number 24 CCCR 0246. Case is style of state of Texas versus Linda Wyckoff. Ms. Wyckoff, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Wyckoff?
Pretty good, so.
That's good. That can't be better than being blessed. And Ms. Wyckoff, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Peter Doyle. Attorney Doyle, how are you doing?
Pretty fair, Judge.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Doyle, what is your announcement in Ms. Wyckoff's case?
Ms. Wyckoff desires a trial.
Okay, give us a reset date. Okay, this case will be reset for trial on October 28, 2024. Your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Doyle, this is your only case. You're free to go as well once you get your reset and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. This is cause number 24 CCCR 0382, case of style of state of Texas versus Kyle Minton Clifton. Mr. Clifton, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Clifton?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Clifton, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Mark Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing? That's good. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Provo, what is your announcement in Mr. Clifton's case?
Your Honor, we would like another reset, if you can't get another reset on this matter, put on pre-trial.
Okay, you want to reset it to the pretrial conference docket?
Well,
Okay. Give us a reset date.
Gonna be October 21st.
October 21st, 2024. Mr. Clifton, your case is being reset to October 21st of 2024. You're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Ms. Provo, I think this is your only case.
yes, Your Honor.
You'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Next case is Colton Edward Smith. This is cause number 23 CCCR 1416, case of style of state of Texas versus Colton Edward Smith. Mr. Smith, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Smith?
Doing pretty good this morning.
That's good. Now, Mr. Smith, you're represented in your case by your attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska, how are you doing?
Morning,
And Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Mr. Smith's case?
Your Honor, we're asking for a 30-day reset to verify whether the felony has been disposed of or not.
Okay, he has a felony case?
It was originally refused, Judge, and I need to get with intake on it to see if they plan on refiling. It's out of the same events.
Okay. That's been almost over a year and a half. And, I mean, did it,
Up here.
so they refused it? When did they refuse it?
It just happened probably a couple months ago, Judge, and I need to get with them to make sure it's a total refusal. The notes aren't specific as to why,
Okay.
but I plan on talking with intake today.
They're gonna reset it 30 days? What's the 30-day reset?
October 16th.
Okay, this case was reset October 16th, 2024. Mr. Smith, your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. Stay in contact with your attorney, your boss, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Matuska, this is your only case, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day as well.
Since you-
I was on, he was on the document on Friday. Okay, so you want. He's being added on to. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Larry Frank. And this is cause number 24 CCCR 0266. The case is style of state of Texas versus Larry Jamaica Frank. Mr. Frank, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Frank? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Frank. Your case was reset on July 24th to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
Sir, came to the conclusion, I'm trying to get an attorney appointed to me. I can do that.
Okay, just have a seat and the bailiff is going to, bring you out some paperwork for you to, fill out. You're gonna have two documents on the clipboard. The first document is gonna be titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You'll read that document and then you'll sign on the appropriate line. I think it will be, if you are requesting that an attorney be appointed to represent you, then you'll place your initials at the bottom of the document on the third line. And then you will sign the bottom where it says defendant, and you will date it today's date. And on the next document, which is the Jefferson County affidavit of, Jefferson County defendant's affidavit, you're gonna have to fill out the first page and then half of the second page. And then we'll pick the paperwork up from you, evaluate it, and then we'll bring you back up, see whether or not you qualify for court-appointed attorney. Okay, so just have a seat in one of the chairs in the gallery, and she'll bring you a clipboard with the paperwork and a pen.
Right.
You can have a seat out, yeah, back there.
I'll make it. Take all your leave time. Today, for the third month, go through this. Is your page? Yeah. But I'm just gonna use generally. But it's not. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him, but that's nothing to watch. I'm gonna ask him.
We have two cases, cause numbers 23 CCCR 0622 and cause number 23 CCCR 1775. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Nicodia Bill Davis Jr. Mr. Davis, is that your full name?
Yes, yes, sir.
Mr. Davis, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. And Mr. Davis. Your case was reset from last month,
Mhm.
August 2nd of 2024, for you to hire an attorney.
I see White Kimber Friday. I was on probation out of 20, they had locked me up for 30 days. I got out Friday.
Okay,
Yeah, but I see White Kimber this Friday.
so you have an appointment to meet with Attorney Wright Kimler?
Right.
And, okay, and so your intentions is to hire Mr. Kimler?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna reset his case. This is Nicodia Bill Davis Jr. on page 4. There's two cases. He's resetting to hire Wright Kimler.
Okay, yeah, October 30th.
Okay, this case will be reset October 30th, 2024. The court coordinator is gonna give you your resets.
Yes, sir.
Once you get your resets, you're free to go. Have a blessed day. Stay in contact with your boss. Jose Cardenas. Mr. Cardenas, your full name is Jose Abraham Cardenas.
Sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Cardenas?
Good, man. What about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Cardenas. We have bond conditions in this case. Your case was reset on July 24th to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
So I got laid off from work.
Okay, so you have two options. Well, you have two options. You could request that an attorney be appointed to represent you, or you can waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. Okay? Do you know what you want to do?
Get ordered.
Court appointed attorney? Okay, just have a seat, and the bailiff is gonna bring some paperwork out to you. Now, there'll be two forms on the clipboard. The first form is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without Attorney. You will read that document, place your initials on the third line at the bottom left, and then you sign and date it. After you read it, and then you will be given Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. You'll read the first page of that document and half of the second page. And then, once you finish, we'll pick the paperwork up from you, evaluate the paperwork, and then we'll decide whether or not you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. All right, just have a seat in the gallery. Mr. Lord, where's your court? Where's your coat?
Library.
Oh, you can't come past here. You need to get your, you need to have your coat on.
I was just coming to fix the pattern.
He had,
Okay.
he had his coat on. He must have-
Sorry, Dave.
All right, these papers together, but there's none of them.
You just need a judge's explanation and an affidavit. That's the only two you need. The affidavit is 3 pages. That's part of the affidavit. Isn't
Well,
it?
no, I was putting some.
He was told after they figured out how I was going to learn not to record anymore. He was reporting on it. I'll let it for. Don't report on it. Two reports, man.
Next case is cause number 24 CCCR 0816. Case is style of state of Texas versus Gomez Gonzalez.
I'm here, Judge. He's in the courtroom.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, your full name is Gomez Eric Jose Gonzalez.
Right.
How are you doing, Mr. Gonzalez? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Gonzalez. You represented in your case by your attorney Langston Adams, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
And Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Gonzalez's case?
Judge, I just want to move it to one more announcement. If you look at that docket, that's a relatively new case I got. And then DA's office just get me an offer. I discussed that with my client. But I
Okay,
do have discovery and I do have the video. And we did look at that yesterday.
let's reset. I'll give a date. October. Okay, this case is going to be reset to October 16th. Yeah, she reset one on that already. October 16th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Mr. Gonzalez, your case is going to be reset. You will get your reset here in court. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and you stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Please stand in front of the court coordinator. And Mr. Adams, your reset will be sent to you. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Stand right there. What? Yeah, it's an MTRP.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it would happen to-
I think we're.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Trumbull County Court at Law number 2 is back in session, court is in session. And cause number 23 CCCR 2412. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Mark Andrew Crocker. Mr. Crocker, is that your full name?
Yes,
Mr. Crocker, please raise your right hand. Mr. Crocker, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
yes.
Mr. Crocker, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Crocker?
Well, Your Honor.
That's good. I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Crocker, you represented in your case by your attorney Charles Rojas. Attorney Rojas, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Rojas, do you waive a record in Mr. Crocker's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Crocker, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Crocker, it alleges that you, Mark N. Crocker, on or about August 13th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance permitted group 4 less than 28 grams. Mr. Crocker, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Crocker, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Crocker, I also have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. In this information sheet that was filed by the Jefferson County, well, no, where did I get that? I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. In this misdemeanor plea admonishments, there's one box that's checked that states on page 1 that states that this is a Class B misdemeanor. You recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials MC on the line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Well, on the same document on page 3, is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, you recognize this document?
Yes, Your
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Crocker, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Crocker, are you a citizen of the United States?
yes, Your
State up for states 1.
No objection.
No objection. States Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Rojas, you have advised and counseled Mr. Crocker. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Crocker, your attorney, Mr. Rojas, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Crocker, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 22 days in the Jefferson County Jail, credit for 22 days, and to tax and retire all court costs.
Okay, Mr. Crocker, the state is offering that you serve 22 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 22 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served. And the court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Crocker, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Crocker, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Crocker, you're going to stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Yes, rest day, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's already on the document. What was your one? Okay.
Yes. Oh, wow, this is the JP. I can drive.
There's a beautiful drive, Kevin.
Okay, next case is cause number 24 CCCR 1270. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Joanna Solomon. Joanna Solomon is appearing via Zoom. Ms. Solomon, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor, and yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And Ms. Solomon, you're represented in your case by your attorney James Padgett, who is also appearing via Zoom. Mr. Padgett, how are you doing?
Doing good. Good morning, Your Honor.
And Mr. Padgett, what is your announcement in Ms. Solomon's case?
Your Honor, we are completing discovery. We just have the video to review, and I'm going to contact my client next week to get that done. If we could have like 30 days, we should be able to dispose of this case.
Give us a reset.
October 16th.
Okay, this case will reset on October 16th, 2024. Ms. Solomon, your attorney and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. And Ms. Solomon, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Padgett, your reset will be sent to you and you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your
You
Honor.
as well,
Have a great
Your Honor.
day.
Okay, you're welcome. Larry Frank, Frank, your full name is, Larry Frank? Larry Jamaica Frank? Mr. Frank, could you please raise your right hand? Frank, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Frank, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Frank, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line as titled defendant? And are these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for a court-appointed attorney? I also have another document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant's signature. Is this your signature? Mr. Frank, before you signed and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Now, Mr. Frank, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Marvin Provo. Attorney Provo will be given information to contact you. You will also be given information to contact her. Our court coordinator is going to give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand in front of the court coordinator.
Should I contact her as soon as I leave here?
She'll tell you what to do.
We can have a seat. Yeah.
Jose Cardenas. And Mr. Cardenas, your full name is Jose Abraham Cardenas, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cardenas, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Cardenas, you may put your hand down. Mr. Cardenas, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Or these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney? I also have another document that's titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cardenas, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Sure.
And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, Mr. Cardenas, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds will be given information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. 1 minute. Let's see if he has it in mind conditions. Okay. Hey, Mr. Cardenas, please stand in front of the court coordinator and follow her directions. Once you get the information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We have somebody ready.
Right. Good afternoon.
Next case is Lindsay Janelle Levere. Good morning. Miss Levere, your full name is Lindsay Janelle Levere?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Levere, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Levere, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Levere, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Levere?
Good.
I'm doing fine, thanks, thanks. And Ms. Levere, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, how are you doing? And Mr. Macy, do you waive a record in Ms. Levere's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. How are you doing?
Oh, great, Judge, thank you.
And you're welcome. And the probation officer is represented in this case by Mr. Gary Gilliam. Mr. Gilliam, how are you doing?
Fine, sure, thank you.
Ms. Levere, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Revoke Probation. In this motion to revoke probation that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, it alleges that you, Lindsay Janelle Levere, was tried on March 5th of 2024 for the, hold on a minute.
Class B, Judge.
Okay, I didn't state what class it was. I was looking for that. Motion to revoke probation, judgment of probation. Okay. This motion states that you, Lindsay Janelle Levere, was tried on March 5th of 2024. The offense of possession of a controlled substance. Penalty group for less than 28 grams. it also states that you was found guilty and your punishment was assessed at 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $802. So I think it's $500. Yeah, I'm looking at the motion. The fine is $500 in the judgment and $302 for court costs.
Here's the total right here. It should be 500.
Right. We're saying.
You have any objections to the state's amendment? Mr. Mason?
I have no objection. It's the
Okay.
same now. We just didn't split it up. between the fine and court costs.
Okay, so it's a fine of $500, 180 days confinement. The confinement of 180 days was probated for a period of 15 months. In this motion, there are 6 allegations. State, are you abandoning allegation 1, 3, 5, and 6?
We are, Your Honor.
Ms. Levere, the state is abandoning allegations 1, 3, 5, and 6, and that means they will only be proceeding on allegations 2 and 4. Allegation 2 alleges that you, Lindsay Janelle Levere, failed to abstain from the use or possession of any drugs except those taken or possessed under doctor's orders that's ordered by the court on or about May 18 of 2024, provided a urine sample for a scientific analysis that showed the presence of the metabolic byproduct of benzodiazepine in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? And allegation number 4 alleged that you, Lindsay Janelle Levere, failed to perform the community service hours required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 17 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Now, Ms. Levere, are you pleading true to allegations 2 and 4 freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading true because they are true?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Levere, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. There's one box that's checked on page 1. Box that's checked is MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials, LL, on a line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegations 2 and 4. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that is titled, well, on the same document, page 3, there's a signature on the back page above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Levere, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes, sir.
Ms. Levere, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State offer state's fine.
No objection.
No objections? State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macy, you've advised and counseled Ms. Levere. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Levere, your attorney, Mr. Macy, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Levere, I will accept your plea of true to allegations 2 and 4. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of true, the state's offering 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail with credit for 3.
Okay, what's the court cost?
$60.
Miss
Your Honor,
Levere,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. We would request, while you're following the agreement, that you, allow her to do her, jail time on weekends because
Well-
has children.
okay, let me do
I
this
don't
here.
know whether it was appropriate to mention it at that time or should I wait it, but.
Okay, okay, let me do this here. Now, Ms. Levere, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. And you'll be given credit for the 3 days that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $60. Are you able to pay the $60 court cost?
Are they gonna? Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ms. Levere, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Okay, do you accept the state's offer?
30 days.
Yeah, 30 days, credit for 3 days, and you'll be required to pay the court cost of $60. Okay, now, your attorney has requested that you serve your time on weekends. The state
The concern with that is from the jail. I'm sure you've heard,
yeah, okay, one of the problems is there's a warrant for arrest out of JP. There's a JP warrant, justice of the peace. I don't know what, let's see what precinct. Okay, it was a Caprius profile out of Judge Dahl's court. Apparently she was supposed to pay a fine or something, and apparently she didn't pay it, the fine and court costs, so she has to either pay the fine or sit out the time, so they issued a warrant for arrest.
and the state's concerns through the jail as far as weekends is the potential for individuals to bring in contagious diseases like COVID, or to bring in other dangerous implements into the jail, such as drugs or weapons, if they are given the opportunity to go. Well,
Yeah, but okay. So, she won't be allowed to do it on weekends. She's gonna be arrested on the warrant, that's out of JP, one. And she has to, so she has to, well, she'll be going in from here.
Yeah, he's gonna go to JP Court and see how much it is and pay it. So I told him I'm gonna hold her here until he bring the receipt back. If that's fine.
Oh, I mean, he can do, yeah, he can be paid at any time. I mean, anybody can pay it. I mean, yeah, but, at the same time, the state,
And then alternatively, Judge, if you don't want her to serve it on weekends, if you could allow her to report initially on Friday so that it gives her time to
make arrangements.
make arrangements to make sure that her kids are taken care of.
Okay.
If the JP funds are taken care of, then the state has no issue with that.
Okay. So just have a seat in the jury box, and then I think he's gonna, if he go take care of it, and then, the state don't have a problem with her turning herself in on Friday. But we have the date. What's the date?
I don't know, we'll have to put that in the plea paperwork.
I know, what's the, you have a calendar?
This Friday's the 20th.
The 20th of, September? At or before 6 p.m. Okay, so just have a seat in the jury box.
You done with it, Mr. Macy?
Yes.
Sit up here for me.
And maybe
You're fine, you can stay right here.
Yeah. Let's see, because, you don't have to sign anything. Oh, y'all gonna have to, well, this here would have to be changed if that's taken care of. The MP, y'all would have to make the notation that the jail time is gonna start on Friday, September 20th at 6, at or before 6 p.m. You need to go to another court? That's fine, you can do that.
And I'll be back.
Okay, that's fine.
It shouldn't take too long.
I'm gonna send this back to you, and you can send it back to me. Well, I'll send it back to him.
show my stopped recording.
Motion that's on file now.
Yes, sir.
We can't talk about a motion never been
I,
filed
I
and
understand.
it's in the future, so that's,
I just don't want.
I don't give you a pre-ruling before hearing the motion. It's kind of like putting the cart before the
I
horse.
understand, Judge. I'm not gonna put the state in a bad position. She's got a vacation planned.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, I don't,
That's fine, Judge.
yeah,
You're welcome.
okay, let me see that motion. Okay.
That's right away.
Or make Kyle have to come over here and interrupt his schedule.
Would love to.
He would love to, just
He
because
would
it's me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the one case we had them together.
In March?
Yeah, it's on.
Here you go.
And it's gonna come back.
Here you go.
And we talked about it the other day.
Thank you. So funny.
Okay, oh, he's in the back.
He's a good.
Do you want me
Well,
me to grab
I
Andrew
guess
first?
he's working on something, let's see.
to, my client is here via Zoom.
Yes, I know.
You need Mr. Jeffers?
I've got to
No,
go
we
get
don't
my
have
record
anything
now.
else ready on the
Pretty
on the
sure.
tablet.
I've got one, I believe it's Andrews. And confirm everything else right.
Let's see. Jeffers is yours is a plate,
Yes, John.
okay. And Macy is a, well, we already took care of his.
Is it 9:27?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's,
I can go check on it.
Madam Pro Charm, I just have a procedural question. Doesn't have anything to do with any particular case. I haven't tried a case in your particular court, Your Honor. We may go Monday. My understanding is we show up, we announce, pick a jury Monday afternoon.
Right.
Typically. When do we start
the,
testimony?
when they put on that, it all depends on when the state is gonna put on the,
Okay, Tuesday. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay. Thank you.
okay. Ms. Partain, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Ms. Partain, you're representing your case by your attorney, Brennan Mitchell. Attorney
Yes, sir.
Mitchell, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Judge. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Now, Ms. Mitchell, Mr. Mitchell, the state is represented in this case by attorney, Andrew Hubel. And Mr. Hubel, how are you doing?
Still doing well, Judge. Thank you.
And the probation office is present and represented by Mr. Ernest Perry. Mr. Perry, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Your Honor.
And Mr. Mitchell, I have before me a motion that you filed. The motion is titled Motion for Court Order Allowing Defendant to Remove Ignition Interlock from Vehicle. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, Judge.
You'd like to proceed on your motion?
Yes, Your Honor. This was a DWI first. I believe it was on or about December 11th was the plea. Placed on deferred adjudicated probation for 15 months. She's now had the interlock in her vehicle for a little over half that time. I spoke to probation last week, was unable to get any information as to whether or not she was in compliance. She believes she's in compliance after I spoke with her. We're asking the court, being that this is a DWI first and she's had the interlock in for at least 50% of the time, to allow her to remove the interlock at this time, as it is a great expense to her, and she is she does work for the school system, so her resources are very limited, Your Honor.
State.
Now, in response to that, the probation officer's recommendation, as well as the state's recommendation, is that the interlock device remain on. Now, just as a general matter, the offensive driver while intoxicated, as far as misdemeanor offenses go, is a dangerous one to both the self and the community. And the officer in this case has given me some information in regards to a couple tests from the months of May and I believe July, in which there were some failed readings on some retests. Is that correct?
And I haven't seen these yet. Judge asked for them last week before I filed the motion and they wouldn't give them to me, so. Call my client, Your Honor.
Yes. Ms. Partain, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ms. Partain, you may put your hand down. Mr. Mitchell, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Partine, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're not driving at the current moment. You're parked, right?
I am parked.
Okay, perfect. Ms. Partine, have you had any alcohol consumptions in the month of May or July or any other time during your probation?
May, yes. None after.
When?
May, the last couple weeks of May, right before school ended.
Nothing further, Judge.
And
Anything further?
And to be clear, the last statement from the defendant does line up with one of the failed tests.
Okay,
These are locked device.
so the court is going to deny this motion. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
all right, you're welcome. Okay, Ms. Partain, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This is where JP reduction.
safety reduction with anger management. Any kind of thing, anger management.
Yeah, not an online anger management, of course, Your Honor.
Yeah, an online.
Probation.
Okay, so how much time do we need to reset this case?
I'm asking for a month. I think that'll be, I think.
You can do it in a month?
I think there are some you can do that are shorter than.
Okay. Okay, so Alvarez is going to be reset 1 month. Give us a reset date. It's gonna be a JP reduction. And he has to complete anger management.
October 15th.
Okay,
Need it.
okay, you're welcome. Oh. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session. In cause number M334087. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Erasmo Davila Jr. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Davila. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, have you got?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Davila? That's good. And Mr. Davila, you represented your case by your attorney, Attorney Benjamin Jeffries. Attorney Jeffries, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. Jeffries, do you waive a record in Mr. Davila's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Davila, I have before me a document on my computer that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Erasmo Devella Jr., on or about September 25th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, this information further alleges that prior to the commission of this offense, you, Erasmo Devella Jr., on November 14 of 2014, in the county court at law number 3 of Jefferson County, Texas, in cause number 305217, that you were convicted for the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, and that conviction became final prior to the commission of this offense. Is that true or not true?
True.
Okay, now, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
How,
No contest.
no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Devella, I also have before me a document that is on my computer that's titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, ED, that are on the line next to boxes check no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, I noticed, let me go back to the previous document. Now, on this previous document, you sign your name Erasmo D, and then on the next document, it's signed Erasmo Devella. So, I guess you forgot to complete your last name. Just finish signing his last name in that document. Okay. Okay, now, Mr. Devilla, on the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box says check states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box says check states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Devilla, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Devilla, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Stay up for 6-1.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Jeffries, you've advised and counseled Mr. Devilla. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Devilla, your attorney has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Devilla, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement is to 180 days probate over 15 months with a $750 fine, 60 hours community service. The installation may take an interlock device and GWI second standard conditions of probation, including the mandatory 72 hours to start September 27th.
And when the jail time is to begin?
September 27th, Your Honor.
September 27th. And what is this court cost? And Mr. Jeffers, were you appointed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Developer, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Now, this 180 days you will not have to serve because you'll be placed on probation for 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs of $392. You'll be required to pay a DWI conviction fee of $100. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. You'll also be required to pay for the DWI intervention class of $125 on the day of the plea should a further evaluation be needed. You'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments in this case is $188 a month. Will you be able to pay the $188 each month?
Yeah.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete the DWI intervention class, have an alcohol assessment. You'll be required to serve 72 hours in jail to begin on September 27th of 2024 at or before 6 p.m. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Lavella, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Developer, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Developer, you're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Just, thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Jeffers, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I was looking for LeBlanc.
This was a plea judge, but he said he was running next door, I think here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get him.
Oh, well, the paper, we don't have a
You know,
plea
ready?
paper.
Okay, sign here, sign like that.
There's Mr.
Did I print something? Did I print anything?
Do you want to go on Friday?
Friday, which is what, 9:20?
Is that
Before 6 o'clock.
the 20th? Okay. At or before 6 p.m.
All right. Changes have been made.
I'm sorry. So, Ms. Levere, this is cause number 24 CCCR 0068. Now, the state has offered that you serve 30 days in Jefferson County Jail. You be given credit for the 3 days that you've already served. And your jail time will start at or before 6 p.m. on September 20th of 2024. Okay, so you'll be required to pay the fine, and the court cost is $60. Okay, now, that $60 has to be paid today. Okay, so what we're gonna do is,
Let him go
oh,
upstairs.
yeah, she can, once she signed the judgment, she's gonna go downstairs and pay the $60 and come back up with the receipt. And then you'll be free to go.
Do that now.
No. They're gonna give you the paper, or you gotta go over here and, you're gonna finish here first and then go downstairs and come back.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number 24 CCCR 1008. Case of style, the state of Texas versus Ahmad Lawrence Woodridge. Ms. Woodridge, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Woodridge, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Woodridge, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Woodridge, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Woodridge? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Woodridge. You represented in case by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Judge.
And Mr. LeBlanc, do you waive a record in Mr. Woodridge's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Woodridge, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Ahmad Lawrence Woodridge, on or about March 21st of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of fleeing a police officer. Mr. Woodridge, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Woodridge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Ms. Woodridge, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials, ATW, on the line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Woodridge, before you sign and initial all these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Woodridge, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State?
Stay over stage one.
No objection.
Okay, no objection. States Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. LeBlanc, you've advised and counseled Mr. Woodridge. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
And Mr. Woodridge, your attorney, Mr. LeBlanc, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Woodridge, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement is to 6 months deferred probation with a $250 fine and 30 hours community service.
Okay. Mr. LeBlanc, were you appointed in this case? What is this, court calls? 3:30?
Yes, sir.
Uh, 450. Okay. Mr. That's fine. Mr. Woodridge, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 months probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $250 plus court costs of $330. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. And you'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County, the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments will be $259 a month. Are you able to pay the $259 each month?
Yes, sir.
You can pay it? All right. You'll also be required to perform 30 hours of community service, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of this probation. Mr. Woodridge, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Woodridge, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Woodridge, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosures because he's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Woodridge, you're going to stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you're finished following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. LeBlanc, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And you said, okay, we heard anything on Kyrie Williams? That's Giles Cole's case. James Sanguine,
James Sanguine was reset.
it was reset.
I spoke.
But I'm assuming Giles is gonna be fine, because I texted him yesterday and said,
Because I think he was in the murder trial.
yeah, he's in another trial.
Well, what about his client?
Well, you know, I told his mom.
Oh, well, we need to confirm that. Okay, Ben Jeffries. Jeffries had two cases?
He did your other one from, I believe it was reset.
Oh, Deion Davis was reset?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so that leaves Bruce Smith and
trial.
Christian White. So that case was reset too?
They,
Okay.
sent the actually, was still in trial yesterday.
Okay. So we don't have no bond forfeitures?
No, stuff.
Oh, Macy, yeah. Okay. Well, this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket, the motion to revoke docket, and our hearing that we had this morning. First, the docket was at 9 a.m. second docket was at 10:30 a.m. on today's date of September 18, 2024, in County Court at Law Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. The court will be in recess until 1:30 for us to continue with our trial.